Aloha friends, thank you for joining me for this Moonday reading. These readings are timeless, so whenever you come across them, there is a message for you. It doesn't always have to be on Moonday when these are posted. I do post these every Moonday to give you a little synopsis of what is to come in the next several days. So there are some high vibrational beings that wanted to be here with us today. I have the code 888 coming through with the goddess Lakshmi, and two very special archangels wanted to be here today, and that's Archangel Zadkiel and Archangel Zuriel. And they are both coming in to bring in the violet flame and to transmute and shift whatever they're telling me whatever leftover energies you are holding on to. So anything that they're saying you don't necessarily know that you're holding them. You know that there's something that's been blocking you or something that's been holding you back from moving forward, and it's not something that you need to go into. You don't need to have the answers. They are here for those of you who are ready to just let go without needing any answers, without having to have any kind of control over it. They are here to shift that energy for you. So they're going to go ahead and work through the process for those of you that are open to receive. And I do have some other higher vibrational beings that are here as well, and I'm going to go ahead and just channel the collective, I guess, frequency from them for the next several days as well. So funana kashtitikini and atanana shikanini and anapatunana tusukutu matanana tishikiri apatanana katiniana nekati sikiri and anatikanana yanene irakushkuno no kutusungono manakatanana katikini and sikiri and anatikinian yarapakashkana ufumana katikini shikiri and anatakana and intia yarakishkara futukutumana katishkini and akatanana futuno no tutumanane yarakishkiri and atasumana fututukuno tutumanana etkianana yarakashtakana no futumana kishkini and okay, they want me to bring this closer so you can see her. Right. And this one as well. All right. So we are ready to get into the reading. The collective message they're saying is very different today depending on where you're at. So they don't want me to do like an overall reading. That's why they came through with that little activation, I guess, transmission first. So there are two readings today done with the Dreams of Gaia tarot cards. And you can pick either this Dalmatian Jasper crystal or this Chrysocolla. So one of these two, figure out which one of those is calling you, and I will start with the Dalmatian Jasper. Timestamp will be in the description for the Chrysocolla. Aloha to those of you who chose the Dalmatian Jasper. Oh, I feel like this is lots of little like seedlings of energy coming through. It doesn't even want to focus really in on it. It's like, but there's just like, okay, they're telling me you've been planting seeds, and it seems like there's an urgency. They're telling me because you've planted these seeds, and some of them you've planted a long time ago, some of them are recent. It's kind of all over the map, but you've planted these seeds and you've just been waiting for them to grow. You've been waiting for your for the blossoming of them. And they're telling me that the issue is that you've put so much urgency on it, that's what's causing the blockage. It's like, oh, I want this to happen now, or I've been waiting, but it's because of that you're extending the waiting period is what they're saying. So it's like I used this reference before, but it's like planting a seed and then going back and like pulling back the soil and looking to see how much it's grown. And they're saying you continue to do that. That has been like a cycle for you, is that every time you plant those seeds, you let go and you trust, and then your ego wants to come in and be in control and pull back that soil and see where the seeds are going. And every time you pull back that soil, you restart that seedling from scratch. So it may feel like you've been waiting for a very long time. And it's, they're telling me, of course, time doesn't exist. But the reason you keep cycling in this is because you keep interrupting the process. So let's see what wants to come through for you with the tarot. What other messages do we have in response to what's coming through for those that chose the Dalmatian Jasper? Okay, let's see. Oh, they're saying I'm going too fast, that two of them went back in, so let me slow it down. Okay, got it. Okay. Top or bottom? I heard yes. I guess both. Okay. All right, let's see what we got here. Okay, so pretty much exactly what I just said. You're having some, like, the energy of your ego wanting to take control and be really be in control. That's what they keep telling me. Be in control. It's like you're and not just the ego, they're saying, like, your human self, like, wants to be fully in control of what happens from your highest and best timeline, and it doesn't work like that. So they're telling you to work on harmonizing the ego with the highest self. Now, harmonizing the ego with the highest self, they're work specifically on balancing the solar plexus. So if you can wear yellow, eat yellow foods, use like lemon or citrusy essential oils, lemongrass, they're telling me, is really good. But there needs to be like almost like they're telling me, like a kickstart in the solar plexus, almost like you got punched in the gut and you're like, okay, I'm gonna just let things happen the way that they need to happen. I'm going to not control. I'm going to be free of trying to control how this goes, because clearly it's not moving anywhere, you guys. It's cycling around and around and around. And every time you feel like you move forward, something happens and you drop right back into this cycle again. It's like you're doing so well and you start to see those like seedlings, the blossoming coming through the soil. Then you pull it back to see how big it is underneath. And they're like, stop messing with it. Everything is happening in divine timing. And you keep shifting that with your energy because you want so badly to be in control of the when, specifically of the when. They're saying it's like you want a date. You want to know, when is this going to happen for me? When is this going to happen? I'm tired of waiting. But the process doesn't work like that, you guys. And believe me, I know. So they're saying there's so much that's blossoming around you. And they're pointing out the squirrel. And the squirrel represents patience. Patience. That is the one thing that this pile needs to learn the most, is to just have patience. And really what they're saying is be present. Be present and be patient, because in that space, when you're present and you're not thinking about the next moment, or you're not going back and then digging up that soil and trying to figure out what's going on with the seeds that you've planted, it really allows you to just let things be, right? It's like going with the flow and being in the moment. And that's the energy that you need to cultivate if you want to progress on this path. Otherwise, especially with the way that the ascension is working right now, you are going to keep cycling. And I feel like I'm totally speaking to myself through this pile as well. So I feel you for those of you that chose this pile. But yeah, they're showing Your throat chakra is coming online. And what they mean by that is that you've had some throat activations. You may have gone through a purification recently, and now they're wanting you to really harness your authenticity. What feels best for you. And you've been working on it, they're telling me, but there are still places in your life where you are hiding who you are. There are still people in your life that you don't want to, maybe don't want them to know certain things about you because you're worried about how they're going to judge you or feel about you. And you guys, I learned a really big lesson in this last year, but judgment, all of this stuff can come back to self, right? Like if we're feeling like people are going to judge me, it's because, or judge us. Wow. Thank you, Spirit. It's because we are judging others. And so pull back and learn to work with compassion and letting people be on their journey. And they're telling me your energy, and this came through recently as well. They really want you to like cloak yourself in an energetic bubble when you go out, because there is so much interference going on right now. So I say interference because it really is a mind game, and it's allowing outside things, people to get into your mind and create things that are not there, and then you take off and spiral in that and make it so much more than it is. So maybe you got a phone call from someone you're close to, and they asked you something specifically like, hey, how is this going? And it got you to spiral in your head. Or maybe just being around people in general, like you're if there's something you've been waiting on and you've been open about that with people, and you said, yeah, like I'm waiting for this to come in, and it still hasn't happened, and you have that energy of like, what are they gonna think of me? It's all coming back to this energy of like really being in your authenticity, in your power, right? In your power. Imagine this when you're working on your solar plexus. Just take a moment to be in silence, close down your eyes. Imagine yourself standing at the top of a mountain, looking out over whatever, the ocean, the forest, the plains, whatever it may be that you're looking out over. You can decide that for yourself. And then just take a nice deep breath in and imagine yourself screaming as loud as possible. There is an energy, they're telling me, blockage between the throat. Okay, they're bypassing the heart. So they said, don't worry about the high heart. Don't worry about the heart. But there is something going on that's not balancing out between your throat and your solar plexus. Not everyone's gonna like you. Okay, not everyone is going to be cool with you being in your authenticity, and that is okay. That's something that you need to learn to accept. That's what they're coming through and channeling with that light language that came through. It was like, you don't need to be liked by everyone. You just need to be you, and your people will find you. Whoever's supposed to be in your life, whoever's supposed to be around you, whoever is drawn to the work that you do, or whatever it may be, they're going to come in, they're going to find you. But you need to stand in your power. You need to be your authentic self, and you need to speak it freely. And this is what's going to help you shift through that energy. Any last questions? So they're saying something's happening on like Thursday this week. What date is that? 6th maybe. There's something shifting on that day for you, and it's going to bring in this energy of like knowledge. Like things are going to start coming to you more after this date, and it's for you to share. They're telling me it's for you to share. So there's something that you're not sharing, something that you're holding back on. Maybe you are a channel like myself and you are getting downloads, and the collective is needing that kind of energy right now. They're needing guidance in everything, with everything that's they're growing through. So they're saying there's going to be some knowledge that is going to start coming in later this week that you need to start getting out. You need to let it out. Whatever it is, whatever's coming through, as crazy as it may sound, get it out. Start letting people know. Tell them how you feel, what your downloads are. Maybe just share, like if you have some really awesome meditations and you go deep and you get some downloads from those meditations, share those downloads with people. Or maybe you're like I was a few weeks ago in a park and a bird flew by and actually spoke to me. Like I felt their energetic resonance. They talked to me. They told me to get off my phone. You know, maybe there are things like that are happening for you now, and they're saying it's time for you to speak up. It's time for you to be in your authenticity and use your voice, and whatever you have coming through. Of course, there are going to be naysayers. There are going to be people who don't agree with you. Let them be. Let them be. Let them go. They will vibe out of your frequency, and those that are needing your messages will vibe into your frequency. All right, thank you so much to those of you who chose the Dalmatian Jasper. I'll look forward to connecting with you all next time. Love you lots. Aloha to those of you who chose the Chrysocolla. Lovely little tumbled stone. All right, so first off, the energy that I'm getting for those of you that chose this crystal is that it may feel like things are moving backwards this week. It may feel like you are spinning your wheels and things are turning backwards. But they're showing me like a car stuck in mud, and like how the wheels are just turning. And sometimes you need to rock back and forth through that mud to be able to push and get out of it. So I don't feel like it's going to be, well, they're telling me nothing's bad. Like, of course they're going to say that. But it's just going to be a kind of a stagnant's not the word. Thank you. Like they're telling me, I'm hearing this song, like, I think this is a Paula Abdul song, like 2 steps forward and 2 steps back. Like, it's like you're going forward and then you're moving back, and then you're going forward and you're moving back, and that's okay. But this time there's a backwards cycle so that you can clear out whatever it is that you've been holding in your heart from your past. There's something that's been blocking your heart, something that you haven't let go of. I feel like this is grief, like maybe a passed on loved one that you're, not ready to let go of. It could just be that you experienced a lot of grief throughout your lifetime and there's just still a lot of buildup, but they're really like, I'm totally feeling this like emptiness and like hole in the back of my heart. So this cycle that's taking you back for the next several days is taking you back so that you can let go of the things that you've been holding on to. They're not yours to carry. They're telling me really great things come when we allow people to transition and connect with them in higher frequencies. So know that the grief that you're experiencing, the loved ones that have passed on, that have left your life, they will connect with you in a higher frequency when you let them go. They will connect with you in a higher frequency when you let them go. Let's see what wants to come through. Yeah, I feel like the energy. So first off, they're telling me with the grief. Do you want this way? Yes. Okay. With the grief, that and this is something that I learned in my journey, y'all. I don't know why they're wanting me to put this up for you, but there must be a specific message, so I'll leave that there. But the message that they're telling me is, and like I said, I learned this in my journey, is how beautiful a transition can be. It's painful for the human, right? It's painful for the human body, for, specifically for the emotional body to endure someone that we really love and that we're super close to transition. And also, they're telling me when we allow them to fully transition, we are setting ourselves up for a better future. Interesting. So can you elaborate on that, Spirit? Because I feel like that, I feel like people are going to have a hard time letting go. I know grief is not something that's easy to process through. Okay, they're telling me that what we need to understand is that when people transition, it is because of a termination, basically, of their soul contract. Like they came, they did exactly what they were supposed to do, and they left. And sometimes we feel like they left too soon, or the way that they left didn't feel just. And they're bringing me back to like, remember. They're just saying, remember, remember, remember. We all come here with, lessons that we wanted to learn throughout this lifetime. And then, we leave having worked through those lessons or worked through those karmas. A lot of it is karma because of the karmic wheel. But they're saying like there's a transition with they're saying specifically the contract. So what is this? They're just telling me that we have to accept when contracts end. Thank you. We have to accept when contracts end. And sometimes we're only contracted to be here on earth for a very short amount of time. And I've experienced this with, children who have left too soon, far, far too soon for our human hearts to ever fully comprehend. And every time that it's happened, there's been some kind of big shift that has happened after that transition. And they're saying that you have a big shift that's coming in, but you have not let go. You have to let go. Oof, I don't like sharing this message because I know how hard it is to fully let go and to, go through that grief and that heartache. So I completely get it. But they're saying the soul contracts are complete. The soul contracts are complete. You have to let go. You have to let go. That is what is going to shift you into your next highest timeline. And if you choose, of course we have free will. If you choose to not let go, then you have to. Okay, so I'm hearing two things. If you choose to not let go, you will become. It's like you're staying in your comfort zone. Thank you, Spirit. You're staying in your comfort zone, which is fine. But any seeds that you've planted, anything that you want to blossom and become, or if you want to shift into your next highest timeline, that cannot happen until you let go. Yaraka fatumene kishkidia nanata fatumena katiskianana yarapatus fununu kutunana kachkishkinana yanamanunu unana katkiana yanafatumeni kishkianana. Yes, you have. Like your passed on loved ones want to see you succeed. They want you to have happiness. They want you to have joy. And the only way that that's possible is if you let go. If you give them it's like this energetic tie that we have between ourselves and the people who have transitioned, and they're saying just let it go. And this is like bringing there's some mixed messages in here. So that specifically was what came through with this card. They're also saying that like there's this, like they're showing me this cycle, like he's on his journey and she's like very playful, and they're just saying like you're going through this like loop right now where it's like you're focused and you want to make things happen and you're, you know, doing everything to move forward, and then you get off track and you're like, ooh, this is shiny, or this is playful, or I'm gonna do this instead. And it's not a bad thing to have play and joy in those things in your life. However, there are things that you are not addressing. There are things that you are not wanting to face. So there is some like it's almost like the maiden is like masking the lessons that come with the journey. It's like you're on this journey, and it's not an easy, I feel like those of you who chose this card did not choose an easy journey for yourself this time, and that's okay. You can still bring, you know, peace and love and harmony into your life, but you've got to let go. I keep hearing let go, let go, let go, let go. And you know this already. They're saying you are highly intuitive. You have already been feeling this. It's already been coming through that something is shifting for you and that you need to let go. And they're like, it's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It's time. It is time. Wow, they're really wanting me to like get that into your brain. Like, it is time to let go. Funana katashkana niana apatukutu sukutu manana katiyeskiniana fatamanana kiniane manaka and kishkanana fatumana kishkununo tukununo no manana kanana tikisiki and anana afatumana shkununo no manana katani kishkanana. All right, so these next several days are going to bring in some truths for you, some things rising to the surface. I do feel like there is just some old grief that you haven't let go of, that you haven't processed through, and they're really wanting you to basically stop numbing yourself. Stop avoiding it and go into that shadow and feel it. And from that space, once you surrender, and I know this from my personal journey, once you surrender into that shadow, everything is going to shift and change for you. You've got to surrender into it. All right. I'm giving you all a great big virtual hug. I will look forward to connecting with you all next week. Sending you lots of love. Adios.